Welcome all to the weekly outlook. Boone here from EWPRO. Just a quick reminder again, the cost of the course is going up at the end of the year. So if you want to get in before then, you get the better price. So onto the weekly outlook on the WXY. Nothing's changed on the daily. We got that WX extended wave Y, and we're still waiting for that X2 and then a Z up. On the H4, you can see what I'm looking at. We got that like A, B, C in here, and then we get another A, B. This one hasn't broken this top, but it's broken this top. I would be very cautious in actually buying this. I'm really only looking for a sell setup. We're getting bearish divergence everywhere, so to buy this is, in my opinion, really risky. If you were going to scalp it, you could look at it as some sort of an A, B, C in here, and look for a buy. But yeah, it's only a scalp if you're looking for the buy. I'd prefer to look for the sell, some sort of a sell setup, impulse and a sell. AU on the daily. So we've got this A, B, C in here. This wave C down in here, the larger A, B, C, has come and broke that low. So that's good. We're getting all that bullish divergence. On the H4, as you can see, nothing's changed since last week. We're looking at an A, B, C. That's played out, and we've broken that low. Hasn't quite got to the 100 fib. We do have that bullish divergence. So, you have to wait for a correction to sell. I mean, there is a little sell on the H1. We may be getting an A, B, C, and a little A, B, C in the flat in here. You'd have to go down to the lower time frames and it's only a scalp. If you're looking for this, it's a scalp. I'd be waiting for this impulse up, a bullish setup, and then I'll be looking for the buy. I'm more interested in the buy when we're at these lows. EU on the daily. Nothing's changed on the weekly. We've got that WX extended wave Y. We're looking for that X2 and then a Z down. H4. This is getting quite complicated. We got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we got that impulse up like I was looking for. So this can be a 335 complex correction in here. And then we get like an A, B, C, a larger, more downside. The H1, this is quite difficult because, like I said last week, we can only look for buys. Last week I said we can only look for buys. We got this higher high. Now we're getting a bull hidden here. So I'm looking at it as just an A. We're still in a wave B, and we get a C up. It's not really giving us a nice impulse to buy. You'd have to go down onto the lower time frames, try and look for a trade in here for a buy. But it's very risky because this can be some sort of an A, B, C, and then we get an A, B, C breaking this low, and it's still a B wave, and then we get the A, B, C. So it's more for the experienced traders to get that set up. It's not, if anything, it's more of a sell setup in here on the lower time frames. GU on the daily. Nothing's changed on the daily. We've got that WX extended wave Y. We're looking for that X2 and then a Z down. H4. It played out exactly like we were looking for last week. We got that Z down. We got the WXY. We're looking for that we got that X2 and we were looking for that Z down last week. Now we're starting to get that bullish divergence. We had that bear hidden last week. That played out, broke the low. It hasn't quite got to our targets, the 123.6 and the 161.8, but you don't want to be scalping down here. I'm only really looking for the buys. But on the H1, as you can see, we can get it like an A, B, C in here as a flat, and then you get an A, B, C. Not something I'd really trade because we're down the low. I mean, there is no, more than likely we will get one up in here, and then if you do get a sell set up, well, you could take it just as a scalp, but I'd be more interested in, looking for the buy. And you on the daily, nothing's changed on the daily. We've got that WXY. Well, that's actually on the, we're still in this wave Y on the daily, on the weekly, sorry. And then we get this, we're looking at this A, B, C in here, this flat. That's played out and it's gone and broken that low. So we're getting that A, B, C. On the H4, you could see what I was looking at, this A, B, C. This was just set up in here. It's starting to get quite choppy. We had a bear hidden here. Well, on the lower time frames, the bear hidden. If I just go down, so we've lost all the bullish divergence on this. I'll be looking for an A, B, C, and then another one down. Again, I'm only really looking for the buys. But if you get a flat in here, and a little sell set up on the lower time frames, you could scalp that short. UY on the daily, nothing's changed on the daily. We're still in this extended wave Y. We've got that WX extended wave Y. We'll be looking for that X2 down to 38.2 or 50 fib, and then a Z up. H4, you can see what I'm looking at. Nothing's changed since last week. We've got that like WXY. We're looking for that X2 down to 38.2 or 50 fib, and then a Z up. It's still, I'd actually be staying out of this at this stage until we get this X2, like I said last week. Really need to get this X2 before we can trade it. As you can see, it didn't really do much at all last week. Extremely volatile. This is looking more like a sell for it, like an A, B, C, and then you get an A, B, C. It's not something I'd trade at this stage. I'm waiting for something to, I mean, this here, it's not something I'd trade, but, you could look for a sell in here. You sort of got an A, B, C, A, B, and we're getting a C down. Hopefully that we get a big move down in here, and then give us a buy setup, and we can look for that Z up. But yeah, it's more for the experienced traders because it's going sideways at the moment. Sheffy on the daily, we've got that WXY. We're looking for the X2, similar size to this over here, and then we get that Z up. So again, I was looking at this A, B, C, and then an A, B, C. We got that C down. So now we'll be looking for A, B, C upside, and then an A, B, C to finish off that wave X2. On the H4, you can see this wave here broke the ending point of that. So technically this can be over. We have a bull hidden here. So really, there's nothing to say that we won't get this like A, B, C up here now. On the H1, it is still looking bearish. You can see how bearish this is looking. Like I said last week, you can really only sell this. And I said, it could take a couple of weeks to get you this correction. So you may be staying out of the market for a couple of weeks. If you're trading this B wave, it's very, risky to trade. As you can see, this took a long time, fell over, and then went up and broke the top. And it's only just broken the top. And this can just keep on going up here very slowly in a B wave before we get a C down. At this stage, I can really only look for a sell. On the H1, you can really only sell it. Yeah, we did have a bear hidden here, which never went. We're getting a larger correction. UCAD on the daily. So nothing's really changed on the daily. We got an A, B, we're getting this C up. All this is internal in this C. H4, you can see what happened. I was looking at this as the end of wave C, and then we got that A, B, C giving us that bullish divergence. So that was the end of it. And now we're getting that W, X, Y, X2, and like I said last week, we got that bull hidden. Why that bull hidden is in play, you can only look for the buy, and we got that buy, and it's hit our first target, the 123.6, and we'll be looking at that 161.8 as a second target. On the H1, I wouldn't be trading flags or anything up here. You'd have to wait and see if you get a correction in here. If you get a H1 correction, well then, yeah, you could trade it up to that, 161.8. Other than that, I'd be waiting for the sell setup and looking for a sell, because we're getting the end of that wave C on the daily. There is still a little bit to go up to that 100 pip, but yeah. GY. So this has become quite complex, like I've been explaining. Oh, there was a trade in there. So we got a W, X, Y, X2, and a Z up. We had that nice impulse down, and then we gave a nice impulse up. So we knew after this wave Z, when this happened, we're just going to get a larger correction in here, and then more upside more than likely. I'm looking at an A, B, C, A, B. Took a while to get this C up, but we did get that C up, and now I'm looking for an A, B, C. So we're looking for downside now. A little bit more downside in this here. Like you could see last week, nothing's changed on the H4. We're looking for that A, B, C. Like I said, this one took about 3 weeks before it actually went, and then we're looking for that A, B, C. H1, you can only sell this. We got that bearish divergence. There was a trade in here. I took it up here somewhere, or you could have put a sell stop. If you're taking this trade, you're at break even. At this stage now, really the safest way to trade it is to wait for a correction. We need a H1 correction, and then you look for the sell. Just trade flags and that down here now. Unless you're on that one, I wouldn't be trading any more flags down here. If you're on this one, yeah, you could give another flag a go. But if you're not on a trade, and you're looking to sell this or trade it, I'd be looking for the correction and then look for the sell. So you may be on the sideline for a week or two, it depends what happens. EG on the daily. So this one's completed, like I've mentioned. We got an A, B, C, and then we got that larger A, B, C. This C up here went and broke the ending point of this larger A here, and it went down and broke it again. So technically, like I said, this is complete. So now what we'll be looking for is the larger, like A, B, B, sorry. We'll be looking at the A, B, C. Up to this 100 fib. Ideally, it gets up to this 100 fib. So we're really only looking for buys, but this is quite a difficult pair to trade. On the H4, we got that W, X, Y, X2, Z down with the bullish divergence. We're looking for buys. We've got that W, X, Y, X2, and a Z up. We can either look at this as a Z up or this is internal. We're getting bearish divergence. So we got a running flat in there. Getting bearish divergence, so really risky to trade until you get the larger correction. On the H1, do we have bearish divergence? We do have bearish divergence. It's really, I mean, there's not much you could really do. If you're going to trade it, you really need a correction. You have to see what it gives on the H1 or the lower time frames, and then you could look for a buy. For the sell, you'd really want to break down under this low here and then give you like a trend line break and a lower low, and then you could look for correction and then look for the sell. Gold on the daily. So we're looking at this last section in here. We're looking at an A, B, C. So I'm looking for upside. We have this bullish divergence here, so very risky to sell. H4, we don't have any, between this low and this low, we have bullish divergence. Between the last two lows, this low and this low, we don't. So I'm looking for an A, B, and a C. This may not be over in here, this like A, B, C, internal A, B, C down. We have a look on the H1, you can't buy this yet, unless you're scalping on the lower time frames. On the H1 though, we don't have any bullish divergence. So I'll just be looking for a correction and then more downside. If you do get a buy set up in here, you could scalp it. But you'd have to be mindful that you may just get an A, B, C, and then more downside. There was trades on this on the lower time frames, but yeah, the buys. But daily on WTI, nothing's changed. We're looking at that W. I was looking for this A, B, C. This is looking rather choppy. It's looking choppy like this wave here. We don't have any bullish divergence, so I'm sort of waiting for a correction. On the H4, we had that like W, X, Y, A, B, C. So now we're getting like an A, B, C. We got that C down, breaking the low, larger C down, and we got this bullish divergence. So very risky to be selling. On the H1, as you can see, I am looking for a little bit of upside in a flat here, like an A, B, C. It's not going here though, so you have to be very careful. It's not giving me this C up yet. It's going sideways. This is more bearish. So you may get an A, B, C in here. before we get like a larger A, B, C. Bitcoin on the daily. So we're looking at that A, B, C. We do have the bullish divergence. I was looking for a reversal here. Instead, we got this. Like I've mentioned many times, this is extremely bearish. H4, we got that complex correction. You can see how flat this complex correction is. This was your sell setup. We got the break of the trend line, sell setup. It went again, gave another, sort of bearish setup, and it hasn't broken this low yet. That's the problem. We do have like a bear hidden here. So this can come down and break the low. If we quickly have a look at the H1, on the H1 you can really only buy this. So even though we have that possible bear hidden on the H4, I can't go into it, but H1 we have a bull hidden as well. So on the H1 you can only buy this. This was our bullish setup for that. Now you can see that this is starting to end. So we'll be looking for a buy setup. You really need to go down to the lower time frames and look for your buy setup. Flag or something in here on the M15 or whatever, and then look for the buy to go and break that top, because we do have that bull hidden, possible bull hidden. S&P on the daily. So nothing's changed. We've got that WXY. Then we've got an A, B, C, A, B, C. I'm looking at this as like a contracting flat with a larger flat in the middle. It's become quite complex. Like I said last week, pretty much staying out of it. So this is complete. Like we got that A, B, C, and then we get that A, B, C. You can only sell this now. We had that bear hidden. So we're looking for this low to be broken. It's broken now. If we go to the H1, like there's not really much you can do, like, because we got this such big impulse down here. This was looking bearish, and get a sell there. Now you can see on the lower time frames, we are getting a sort of a bullish setup. So this can be like an A, B, C in the B wave, and then we get A, B, C as a running or expanding flat. So that's sort of what I'm looking at. So if you do get a buy set up in here, you can look for that. I'll put the target on where you'd be targeting for your buy if you're looking for that buy. So you'd be looking for around this 100 pip as a running flat, A, B, C. You may get an expanding flat. We don't know yet, but overall, I still think this is bearish. So if you do get a buy set up in here, you can look for that buy. AU 200 on the daily. So we got that WXY. We're looking for that X2. We never got a bear hidden here, so it's made it difficult to trade, but we are looking for a little bit more downside. On the H4, like I said last week, it didn't play out, but I was looking for a WXY. I said, be careful down here if you're going to take this trade in here, because we'll get another one down, and then we can get that bull hidden, like a bull hidden in here to go and give us that Z up. It started to go, and now it's, we got 3 down breaking the low on the H1. So again, this is pretty much the same as S&P. We get an A, B, C in the B wave, and then we get a running or expanding flat. So if you do get a buy set up, you can look for that. Looking at the DAX on the daily. So this is, we've got that W, very deep X, and a wave Y. Then we've got an A. I'm looking at this like I've been mentioning. This is like an A, B, C. So I am still looking for a bit more downside in this B wave, and then we get a C up like an A, B, C. H4, yeah, I dare say this, we got more downside. We have a bear hidden here. So I'm looking for that to go and break the low. If you're going to trade this, if I just go down to the H1, you'd want to wait for your, we got a lower low. So you can, I think we did get a lower low there. Did we? Maybe not. But either way, I'd be looking for a little correction in here, or a little flag, something to sell, to at least go and break that low. Yeah, it's scalping, pretty dangerous, because we're getting to the end of that wave B on the daily. UCAD, sorry, the FTSE. So this is extremely volatile, extremely difficult. I mean, there's so many different structures in here, like I've mentioned, and it's not really playing out like I'd really look, like an A, B, C, and then we get an A, B, C. Instead, it's becoming quite complex. H4, we had that like A, B, C. We had that possible bull hidden here, so we were looking for a buy. It never went and broke that top, and now we're getting a bear hidden. So, you can really only sell on the H4. The H1, we got a WXY. We're getting a bull hidden here. So if you're going to trade this, you'd be looking at this H1 here. An impulse up, a buy setup to go and break this top with the bull hidden. But again, it may not go and break the top. It may just give you a deep correction. So you're going to, if you take this trade, if it gives a setup, be mindful. It may just give you a deep correction and not go and break the top because of what's happening, on the higher time frames. So I hope you enjoyed the weekly outlook. If you did, please hit the like, share, and subscribe. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you out there.